Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. So, today we are going to discuss a topic on sources of innovation. So, what we are going to learn from this class is number one, we are going to learn where innovations come from, what are the different ways innovations can open up opportunities for change, and we are also going to learn the concept of bottom of the pyramid, BOP, and extreme uses, and how both of these concepts can trigger innovation. So these are the sources of innovation. Okay, there are many sources of innovation. Innovation can come from shocks to the system, accidents, advertising, inspiration, knowledge push, need pull, users as innovators, watching others, recombinant innovation, regulation, and exploring alternative futures. So I'm going to explain some of the sources of innovation that we have here. Number one, the knowledge push. Okay, so what is the meaning by knowledge push? Knowledge push means creating opportunities by pushing the frontiers of science forward. Okay, this means that a company that has R&D and strength in a certain technology and also knowledge, okay, can produce something out of their research and development and introduce it to the public or to the market. Number two, need pull. Need pull means necessity as the mother of invention and innovation, which also means that the organization or the company will find or will try to understand the user behavior and understand what is the problem or gap that they have to address in the market and try to solve that problem and make it into a product or service. Okay, so basically need pull will come from the market, the idea will come from the market, and the company or the organization will try to address what the problems are and try to solve the problem using their product or invention. Number three, users as innovators. Okay, so users as innovators, we have learned before about Daiso, how they practice open innovation, getting ideas from outside sources such as users. Okay, open innovation can also mean getting advice and ideas from the people in the industry or people outside of the industry. Okay, to enrich your knowledge and also uh, whatever that you are working on. Okay, and crowdsourcing meaning you get ideas from the public outside. Okay, you source from the crowd. Okay, you source from the many people or many parties outside of your company. Okay, so this means that users are not the passive recipients. They also contribute ideas to the development of your product or services. Okay, number four, watching others. Okay, watching others. Some companies practice benchmarking. Okay, they practice reverse engineering, they practice copying from their competitors or from people or companies within the industry or even outside the industry. Okay, to come up with new ideas. Okay, so benchmarking, for example, benchmarking means, let's say you already produce a product, okay, or you offer services, okay, you benchmark your product or services with your competitor. Okay, so you will look at uh, the standard of your competitor and try to benchmark with it. You will see the strength and also the weakness of your product and services as well as uh, the same thing for your competitor. So what you do is you will try, perhaps you will learn, okay, from your competitor, from their strength, so that you can also improve um, the product or services that you are offering. Okay, reverse engineering meaning, okay, you have something, okay, you dismantle it, you learn the mechanism of it, perhaps a design, okay, and then you try to imitate or copy, uh, or do something that is inspired by, okay, the thing, or the product that you use for your uh, reverse engineering process. Okay, so during the World War, the Japanese, they didn't have that much technology. Okay, so what they do is they collect all the jet fighters of their enemies that had fallen down on Japan, on their land. Okay, so what they did was they dismantled the jet fighters. They learned the mechanism of the jet fighters, okay, the design and all that, and they tried to copy it, and finally they succeeded in building their own um, jet fighters. Okay, so that is what it means by uh, doing something using the method of reverse engineering. And most of the time, those who practice reverse engineering will do some copying as well. Okay, so from that method, they were able to produce a new product or a new innovation. Number five, recombinant innovation. What does this means? Recombinant innovation means ideas and applications in one world transferred into a new context. Okay, so for example, knowledge or technology in field one, okay, be combined with knowledge or technology in field two, and it will produce a new product or a new innovation. For example, knowledge on or know-how on making shoes, okay, comfortable shoes, being combined with the healthy aspects of wearing shoes. Perhaps you have heard, in the market in Malaysia, we have the brand which is called Medi Shoes. Medi Shoes means very comfortable shoes, which are used uh, to for medication purpose. Okay, meaning to say that people who have problems with their posture or with walking, so they can be custom made. Okay, and with that Medi shoes, it can facilitate them in walking or in even using the shoes. Say for work, you have to stand or you have to walk for quite some time during your work time, so you need uh, those kinds of shoes that can facilitate your activities during your day. Okay, so these kinds of, the combination of two different technologies, okay, can also derive a new innovation. Number six, regulation. Okay, regulation changing rules of the game, push or pull innovation in new direction. Okay, so for example, deregulation of airspace. Again, the story of Japan. When I was a student, the airspace of Japan was regulated. It was closed only for the full-fledged airlines. They wanted to protect the business or competition in airlines industry, aviation industry. But after, I think, year 2000, after 2010, if I'm not mistaken, the airspace of Japan has been deregulated. So it has been open for all airlines, including low cost airlines, okay, to come in and out of the airspace of Japan. So during that time, for example, uh, Air Asia has started to fly into Japan, and there were also companies of low cost airlines within Japan. Okay, so it has affected the pricing of aviation industry in Japan. It has made the competition within the aviation industry or airlines industry becomes very stiff. So the full-fledged airlines had to think of a new way or new innovation on how to attract customers, okay, for themselves. Okay, number seven, accidents. Okay, so there are products or services that were invented from unexpected and surprising things. Okay, so for example, penicillin. You can Google how penicillin were invented. Okay, and later I will also tell you a story about post-it notes and also Kellogg's cornflakes, how these two products were also invented by accident. Okay, and then number eight, okay, futures and forecasting. Okay, imagining and exploring new alternatives. Okay, so governments, businesses, industries, they don't only think about the future in terms of 5 years from now. They are also thinking about what is going to happen 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. So they, well, not only imagining, they will use appropriate, methods, okay, to predict what is going to be in the future, and which we call as the innovation foresight or mega trends. So in 30 years, what are going to be the mega trends around the world? So that kind of prediction will help companies, organizations to start building up knowledge and also technology, uh, and produce new inventions, okay, towards uh, the new trends in the future. Okay, so uh, okay, so for example, innovation by accident, post-it notes, okay, and Kellogg's, okay. What happened was that in 1968, okay, an employee of 3M, he had accidentally mixed uh, materials, okay, and it became the results was a sticky material, okay, and then what happened was it was actually not until 1970 something that when the colleague of that employee of 3M used the sticky material, okay, to stick his bookmarks, okay, and he got that idea and escalated it to 3M, and finally in 1980 something, that 3M was convinced that this product can be sold, and since then post-it note has been sold in 100 countries around the world. Okay, so basically it didn't take a short time. It was quite a long time since 1968, since its first invention, okay, by accident, until 1980s. It took some time for the company to finally believe that this product can actually uh, be a hit in the market. Okay, another one is Kellogg's. Okay, Kellogg's were uh, accidentally found by two brothers, okay, John Kellogg's and Will Kellogg's. They were Adventists and they were very strict in um, vegetarian diet. So they treat patients, okay. John is actually a doctor, so he and his brother treat patients and they wanted to come up with a new recipe that they can offer to their patients who are on strict vegetarian diet. So one day, what happened that they put wheat, they mix it with water, I think, and they just put it outside, okay, until it became stale. But after that, they didn't throw it away. What they did was they put it through a roller, and they were hoping to get a dough, but then actually it happened to be flakes. Okay, so when they heated the flake, it became uh, the flakes. Okay, flakes. So when they offered to the patients, it became a hit, and starting from that, they tried to use different kinds of uh, ingredients, okay, using the same method. So they use corn, and this corn was the corn, which is the cornflakes, became flakes. Cornflakes will finally became their final product, and will have started the company, the Kellogg's company, um, and in 1906. But Dr. John did not join him because on the foundation that the health values of cornflakes were lowered because Will had put sugar into it. So that was the story behind the innovation of cornflakes. And actually, uh, it uh, it took quite some time, okay, also for them to finally get the final product. uh, they first did had the accident, okay, of finding the wheat flakes in 1894, if I'm not mistaken, and not until 1906 that the Kellogg's company was established. And until now, Kellogg's cornflakes are still going on strong in the market around the world. Okay. Okay, now let's go to the next one. So this one is what I mentioned before about the innovation foresight. This innovation foresight is made by Frost and Sullivan from their research, okay, on the mega trends around the world, okay, in the future. So we can see, for example, um, regarding future of mobility, okay, there are going to be autonomous cars, using integrated mobility or connected cars and so forth. About social trends, they're going to be she economy, okay, not only economy but she economy, economy by women, uh, Gen Y, the reverse brain drain, and so forth. So these are the things that are included in innovations foresight, and is being focused on by companies, governments, okay, to work on uh, the future, okay, on how they are going to address the future in the country and also around the world. Okay, so coming up, you are learning about the potential of bottom of the pyramid. Okay, so what is the bottom of the pyramid? The bottom of the pyramid is the concept that has been coined by Professor C.K. Prahalad in his book, The Fortune at the Bottom of the Pyramid. So if we see here, this is a pyramid. Okay, so the pyramid consists of three layers of society or people. Top of the pyramid are the rich men, the rich people. Uh, the second layer of the pyramid is the middle of the pyramid, which is the middle class people. Okay. The top of the pyramid, it's untapped segment, very few competitors. Okay, they go for brand, they go for status. Middle of the pyramid, they are highly targeted segment. It's already overcrowded. The competition is already overcrowded. But the bottom of the pyramid, okay, the lower middle class and also the rural poor. This one consists of more than 60% of world's population. Okay, this is an untapped market, easy to approach and very low competition. The income of this the people at the bottom of the pyramid, which is about 4 billion people around the world, is less than $2 per day. Okay, very, very low. Okay, so companies, they don't tend to make things or services, offer services to these people because they cannot afford it. Okay, so for them, why should we sell things to them because they cannot afford it? But from the perspective offered by Professor C.K. Prahalat, okay, this is actually a huge innovation opportunity. Okay, because there are a lot of these people, they come in mass. Okay, many people. Okay. It's just that we need to reframe the normal rules of market game, and we have to challenge the core assumptions of the norm. Okay, which means that how, for example, how can we make something, okay, and offer them at a very low price but of a decent quality. Okay, so for example, people at the bottom of the pyramid, they don't even have money to wear shoes. Okay, they don't wear slippers, so they will create a problem of, this will affect their health. Okay, because all the dirt, okay, and also you know uh, all those like sharp things, okay, uh, can go into their, can hurt their feet, okay, when they walk uh, outside, okay, and that will cause problem, okay, they can fall sick. Okay, but who are going to sell them shoes, okay, at a very good price, I mean very, very low price, but they can afford to pay it, okay, and they can use it for quite some time, which means that of good quality. Okay, so there are companies that sell very, very cheap slippers, for example, okay, for children. Okay, but the problem with children is that their feet always, grow. So how uh, how are we going to offer them a kind of shoes that can be used by children for a long time? So we need to invent uh, a shoe or slippers or sandals that um, can extend in length, you know, so that the children can use it for a long time. Okay, so those kinds of new innovation, new ideas, okay, will come up when you face this bottom of the pyramid. Okay, otherwise you will not be, you'll not be triggered, okay, with new ideas. You will always create shoes of different sizes. Okay, you have never thought of creating kind of shoes or sandals that can extend, okay, when the size of feet is growing. Okay, so those are what we call as the potential of the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, so what are some of the challenging assumptions about the bottom of the pyramid? Okay, number one, the poor have no purchasing power and do not represent a viable market. So this is always the assumption. That's why not many companies are willing to produce or sell things to the poor people. Okay. But the reality and the opportunity is that although low income, uh, the sheer scale of this market makes it interesting, even though they have very, very low income. but the huge scale of this market is very interesting for businesses. Okay, additionally, the poor often pay a premium for access to many goods and services. Okay, like borrowing money, clean water, telecommunications, and basic medicines because they cannot address mainstream channels like shops and banks. Okay, um, actually, when poor people they don't have much money, they tend to buy things at smaller packages. Okay, but if you see, okay, if you observe, the smaller packages offer smaller quantity at a low price. But actually, if you buy more, you are actually saving more money. Okay, for example, you are buying a pack of very one pack of shampoo. Okay, for 1 ringgit, for example. Okay, and that shampoo is only about like um, let's say 5 milliliter, sorry, 5 milliliter. But if you buy one bottle of shampoo, it costs you only, say, for example, 8 ringgit. Okay, which is actually cheaper than if you buy smaller packets, okay, of 3 milliliter, only 3 or 5 milliliter, okay, compared to the say 1 liter or 2 liters of shampoo in the bottle that you buy. Okay, so the poor are not brand conscious. Okay, so it can be anything. The evidence suggests that a high degree of brand and value consciousness. So if an entrepreneur can come up with a high quality, low cost solution, it will be subject to hard testing in this market. Okay, learning to deal with this can help migrate to other markets. Essentially, the classic pattern of disruptive innovation. So it can be anything. As long as you offer solution to their problem, they don't care about the brand. Okay, so that is actually an opportunity for you. But if you are selling to the top people, to the top layer of the pyramid, you have to have your own brand. You have to first um, you know um, prove to the market that you are producing a high quality product. But you don't have to do this if you are selling to the poor people. The poor people are hard to reach. Okay, by 2050, there are likely to be nearly 400 cities in the developing world with populations over 1 million and 23 with over 10 million. Okay, so 30 to 40% of these will be poor. So the potential market access is considerable. Innovative thinking around distribution via new networks or agents, okay, such as the women village entrepreneurs used by Hindustan Lever in India or the Avon ladies in the rural Brazil, can open up untapped markets. Okay. We are always thinking that the poor people live in very rural areas, so they are very hard to reach. But we can also innovate, okay, can come up with new ideas on how to get to that market. Okay, and basically their population are quite high, okay, in certain areas. So you can, for example, deploy agents, okay, like what has been practiced by Avon. Okay, they have these Avon ladies in rural Brazil, and they will be the agents for you to sell the things to those people. And because they are very hard to reach, not many companies will go there. So your competition, your competitors will be not so many. Okay, not as many as if you are marketing your product to large cities. Okay, and the poor people are unable to use and not interested in advanced technology. This is actually not true. Okay, they are as much as interested in advanced technology as us. Okay, so Social entrepreneurship, okay, keusahawanan sosial is social entrepreneurship, can trigger a lot of innovation. Okay, so one of the most influential um, social entrepreneur, okay, the person who coined the term social business is Professor Muhammad Yunus. Okay, he is the banker to the poor. Okay, so Professor Muhammad Yunus, he has established Grameen Bank in Bangladesh in 1983. Okay, because of this, he has received the Nobel Laureate, okay, prize, okay, in economics. So what he did was, he wanted to help poor people escape from poverty by providing loans on terms suitable to them and by teaching them a few sound financial principles so that they could help themselves. Okay, to them, okay, to them, uh, getting loans, okay, from banks were extremely difficult. Okay, so these people, these very very poor people, they need money to, start doing something, selling something, but they don't get, there is no way they can get loans from the banks because conventional banks, what they do is they give money uh, to people who actually don't need the money. Why I'm saying this is that because when you want to loan, you want to get some bank loans, what you have to do is you have to prove to the prove to the bank that you are able to pay off the loans by mortgaging your land or mortgaging your house, okay, which means that actually you do not need the loan, okay, okay, in if we say it in another way. Okay, but the poor people, they don't have anything to mortgage. So banks don't want to give loans for them. So what Professor Muhammad Yunus did was he established the Grameen Bank and he distributes microcredits. Okay, very, very small loans like $12 or $15 for the women, the poor people, the poor women in the rural area to start their own ventures. Okay, so why women? Because women, if when they spend money, they will spend for the family. That's one thing. Number two, women, they pay back. Okay, the rate of paying back to the lender is higher compared to men. Okay, so you can read about Professor Yunus, okay, of what uh, he has done that has made him achieve the Nobel laureate status, and you can also watch his speech at TEDx from this YouTube link. Okay, okay, so we have also learned about open innovation, okay, and also crowdsourcing, okay, and you can also watch more on open innovation and crowdsourcing from this link. Okay, so who do we innovate for? Okay, so we have learned about bottom of the pyramid. That can be one of the trigger for innovation. So we can innovate for the emerging markets and people at the bottom of the pyramid. For example, Tata is a very huge automotive company in India. They have come up with 1 lakh car. 1 lakh means about 1,200 ringgit Malaysia, which is very, very cheap. So their target market is the people at the bottom of the pyramid. So imagine if they can address those people, okay, they can offer such cheap car to those people, okay, so they might also attract people at the middle of the pyramid as well. So just imagine the mass, the quantity that they can get. Number two is the extreme users. Okay, so extreme users, they love made to order things because they love things that are specialized for themselves. Okay, so there are options, okay, for these extreme users. Options for customization, it can be distribution customization, assembly customization, fabrication customization, and also design customization. Okay, you can read it from here. Okay, so distribution customization, meaning to say that customers may customize product, service packaging, delivery schedule, and delivery location, but the actual product is standardized. So for example, sending a book to a friend from amazon.com. Okay, so you can send a book, for example, to a friend, okay, using amazon.com, and they will receive the book individually wrapped, okay, as a gift, okay, a personalized gift with a personalized message from you. Okay, so this is what is called by distribution customization. Okay, the book is standard. Okay, anybody can buy that book, but the delivery or the delivery is or the distribution is customized. Number two is assembly customization. Customers are offered a number of predefined options. Product services are made to order using standardized components. So, for example, if you are buying a computer from Dell, okay, you can tell them what you want. Okay, so they can assemble they can assemble according to your preference. Okay, so you will purchase according to your preference as well. Okay, and then there's fabrication customization. Customers are offered a number of predefined designs. Products or services are manufactured to order. So, for example, if you buy a luxury car like BMW, you can get involved in choosing or designing the configuration, like the engine size, trim levels, color, fixtures, and so many things. Okay, so those design customization or fabrication customization can be done if for this kind of luxury cars. Okay, uh, for services, for example, okay, services allow a much higher level of such customization since there is less of an asset base needed to set up for manufacturing the service. For example, measure tailoring, personal planning for holidays and pensions. So, like my company, this is what we are doing. Okay, we do personal planning for holidays. So, if you want to go holidays with your friends or with your families or with your school, okay, you want to do a school trip to Japan, for example, then we will discuss and we'll see your needs, what you want to go and visit, and we are going to do some suggestions for you, and we will create a plan for you, and we will also customize um, on your accommodation, what you're going to have for for meals there. If you're a Muslim, we can bring you to halal food outlets and so forth. Okay, and then there's also design customization. Okay, customer input stretches to the start of production process. Products do not exist until initiated by a customer order. Okay, so co-creation where end users may not even be sure what it is they want, but where, okay, sitting down with a designer, they co-create the concept and elaborate it. So this one, for example, can be uh, say you want to have a wedding, okay, and you want to create a wedding dress. Okay, so you can sit down together with a tailor and you co-create what you want. Okay, what you can tell the tailor what you want, and the tailor can also co-create okay, give suggestions to you on uh, the patterns or what kind of fabrics that is you may want to choose for your wedding dress. Okay, so co-creation of services can also be found in fields like entertainment, where user-led models like YouTube are posing significant challenges to mainstream providers. Okay, so uh, like YouTube, for example, okay, you co-create, you create your own videos and you put it on YouTube. That is actually co-creation. Okay, they become a platform for you to allow you to create your own content and put it on the platform. That is what is the meaning by co-creation. Okay, so these are the things that these options, okay, in customization and also the markets of bottom of the pyramid are some of the strategies uh, for uh, for companies and also for businesses that to target. Okay, and these are also become their sources of innovation. Okay, so by thinking the needs of people at the bottom of the pyramid or the extreme users, for example, can make them come up with new business models, new products, and also new services. Okay, so that is our class for now. Okay, thank you very much for joining this, and I see you on the next class. If you have any question, you can always reach me on our Telegram group or email. Thank you.